So it's time to go through the multi-time frame setup on the reversal catcher strategy system. Yeah, that one. So first you've got the multi-time frame setup thing. What is your secondary time frame here? Daily, does it make any sense for weekly? No, it doesn't. If I would set that to monthly or 2 weeks, that would probably make some sense already. So let's put it to 2 weeks just to make this make some sense. The secondary time frame slow time frame multiplier thingy. Here, of course, now that I set it to 2 weeks and 5, I would probably want to set that to 2 weeks and 5 as well, if I have those options created. Let's see, secondary time frame 2 weeks, yes, and 5. That's cool. So now we see what we're looking at. Right, so back to this bad boy here. So 2 weeks is now the step line. Boom, boom, boom. 1 week was one of these, so 2 weeks is, this was blue, this 2 weeks, that blue week is green. Now it disappears because it's green on green, and sometimes difficult to read, but when the colors are matching, well, you kind of know that they're matching because you see nothing. Here it was falling, 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 still falling even though this turned higher. Right, secondary time frame slow is the same, 2 weeks times 5. And now you've got the primary one is still 20, so 5 times 20 is 100. So 5 times 20, 100, that's really slow. That's the cloud behind. Green. Now here the cloud turned orange, turned maroon, back to blue, back to green, back to orange, whatever. Right, so that's how you read that. And that's how these match when you make them match. And remember to make them match, otherwise it doesn't make any sense because you are watching something else here than here. So always keep these in sync. Otherwise it's kind of like stupid, right? Or at least difficult for you to read. Now, for bounces and drops, we've got multi-time frame analysis filters. Bullish momentum filters. Exactly the same. Above zero, rising, rising above, rising below. Similar thing for falling. And for bearish, exactly the same menu. Or drops. For the bounces, we've got the slow. Exactly the same menu. Here, exactly the same menu. So what does the slow do? What does the fast do on the secondary time frame? Bullish combined Karinen Momentum filter. Now this becomes funkier. So all rising, 3 or more rising, 2 or more rising, 1 or more rising, none. The same for falling. What does this mean? Well, you've got the normal speed fast, the normal speed slow, 1, 2. The slower speed fast and the slower speed slow, 3 and 4. Right? So if more than one is rising, trade. If 2 or more is rising, trade. If 3 or more is rising, trade. If all are rising, trade. The same for falling. And here you've got the same things. So it doesn't matter which ones of them are moving, unless you use the filters above to define that at least this needs to be doing that. So let's say I've got here, somewhere here, I've got that this needs to be bull turn. Well, what does it mean? It's probably rising, right? Of course it's rising, otherwise it can't do a bull turn. So I don't need to use it. But that's what it means. So now I need to have at least this rising before I'm trading. That's when I trade. If I now go here to the combined and say 1 plus rising, it doesn't change it because it's already required by my trigger that it needs to be rising, right? If 2 or more need 2 or more need to be rising, then it's this plus whatever else. Well, there are 2 others, so it's still a trade. 3 or more is going to be still a trade, but all rising it's not because the slower one is falling. Now that disappears. So that's how it works. The same for bearish. A bullish trade Karinen Momentum exit rule is when the slower time frame, so secondary time frame faster Karinen Momentum thing, so this step line here, does anything from this menu, which is the same menu as for the primary time frame above, then we exit. And then you've got the grace period. I just haven't named it as grace period, but it's exactly the same one. So secondary time frame candles before stop out from Karinen Momentum rule. Now when we're talking about the secondary time frame, if you want to, you can plot the secondary time frame candles here as well. Like that. So this 2 week was going higher. For whatever reason it's not drawing further back than that. That's probably something in the card that makes it so. Maximum look back or something. Or I'm so much in the past. Yeah. So the same logic here. This is maroon, right? Because this is maroon. This went higher, so it's filled with white. This went lower, so it's filled with maroon. It turns green. It went lower, so it's filled with green. It went higher, so it's filled with white. This is orange here, you see it's orange. Or it's closed, it closed orange. It fell lower, so it's full. Alright? Do we find anything blue? Well, we don't need to find anything blue because you already understand how it worked. There's one blue, it went higher. That's why it's white in the inside. If you don't see what I'm talking about, I'll zoom in more. This is the blue one. That's a green one that went higher, that encompasses these two ones. If I change that to monthly, the secondary time frame here, you'll see this change. Like that. So that's 1 month. That's 1 month. There you go. So that's how it works. And that's all about the multi-time frame thingy. In the next one, I'll check the last two things.